So Samsung just had its event where they unveiled the new Galaxy S25 series, and the first thing you probably ask is, don't these phones just look like last year's model? Well, that's because they do. Honestly, there is almost no difference with the hardware of the phone, and I say hardware because we have to ask the question, why go through the hassle of having a full hour event when all you're going to do is show off a new phone that looks identical to last year and the year before that? And yeah, sure, we've seen other companies, Apple, pull the same move, but why? Why not just have a low-key event or a simple online presentation instead of this big production? Well, turns out they actually have something to show us, and we'll get to that in a sec. But before we do, quick update. I'm moving. Kind of. Not moving, but moving to a better space, because I don't want to keep showing you the same background every single time. It eventually gets boring. And I would just like to build and tear down sets whenever I want to shoot a video. I've actually started working on space, but I can't show you any video clip yet. However, if you want a BTS update, be sure to follow on Instagram and Twitter at S25XL. And of course, subscribe and turn on post notifications so you don't miss when the final studio tour is done. All right, the S25. Let's get back to it. If you've ever used or even held the S24 and you saw the S25 unveiled on stage, your first reaction would probably be, that's literally the same phone. The S25 and S25 Plus still keep the same 6.2 and 6.7 inch display from last year. The only obvious difference may be the new colors, but from just looking at the phones, there is nothing new. In fact, if Samsung had stamped the 24 logo on last year's models and this year all they did was engrave a new 25 on that phones, no one would have ever noticed. But feel free to pause and take a look at this comparison chart we've made between the S24 and S25. Try to spot the difference. But there's one thing you can't engrave, and that's the internals. So the noticeable thing isn't the hardware, but the software and a bunch of new AI features. Samsung is launching a new One UI 7 software, and while I don't want to call it a copycat, let's just say they understood the assignment, and it looks similar to a particular brand, if you know what I mean. Most of the new features are AI driven, and I won't go through every single one yet, but here's a list of what was announced at the event. Oh, and of course, you need something that can handle the processing of all this information. So, powering the new S25 is a new Snapdragon 8 Elite chip. And for the cost of these new phones, you can check out the comparison chart we already made. But here's the real reason why companies make you sit through an entire hour event just to talk about a phone that, at the end of the day, is still just a phone. Can you guess what it is? Yep. AI. AI is everywhere now, and we're starting to even see AI wars with DeepSeek and OpenAI, ChatGPT. But we fall into this space where we throw ourselves at the mercy of AI to help us out with assignments, schoolwork, research, video editing, or even something as simple as having a conversation. Samsung is all in with Gemini, their new AI assistant, which is deeply integrated into all things One UI 7. But let's be real, how often do you spend actually talking to your phone? Not using, talking. My guess is pretty much close to zero in a day. Yes, AI can help you set reminders, schedule meetings, even find pictures with just a stroke of keywords, but when we get to the part where you start to have full-on conversations with your phones like you would a human, then things start to get creepy. AI is cool and all, and I think it's very useful, but Samsung has chosen to charge you for AI. Yeah, we don't know how much that would cost, but on the bright side, if you get an S25, it's free until the end of 2025. So this is more or less a quick summary or first impressions of what I think about the Galaxy S25. But subscribe because I'm going to do a full review once I actually get my hands on the phones and I get to test them out. Oh, and hey, if you want to see how Apple has been pulling the same move for the past few years, you should check out the link in the description. Yeah. Oh, you thought I was done? No, no. Samsung still has one more thing they announced at the end of the event, and that is the Galaxy Edge. Just slotted it in there right after the end, more like an afterthought of something. But yeah, I'm done now. Thank you guys for watching. Catch you in the next one. Peace.